the claims he makes and all the crap. And grain's the same way. Okay, so her case is I have no appetite, and the people, raw food advocates / doctors, on the retreat said I was missing something in my diet. And that I need to start building energy using things like bee pollen, goji berries, spirulina, coca, seaweed to give my body energy and life. But this should be, this goes against what you say as you don't believe in nutrition. Well, that's where sometimes I think we hear things that are not quite true. It's not that I don't believe in nutrition. I totally believe in nutrition, but not mounds of it, not stacks of it, not more is better concepts. You don't see animals loading up with mega food because they're sick. When they're sick, they don't eat at all. So the idea, but I will say that in today's world, with the weak adrenals and everything else, that's why it's important to get into the fruits. You're still going to feel fatigued. If you have weak adrenals and you go on this high energetic diet of fruits and berries and milk, there is no higher energetic diet to it except the God force itself. But people start on these diets and feel more tired, more weak, because they don't have the stimulants of the meat. They don't have the stimulants of the proteins and the epinephrines, blah, 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 blah. So therefore, they feel tired and weak. It takes a little while to recycle out of that and wake the adrenal glands up for lifetime use of meats and the constant ingestion of neurotransmitters, making your adrenal glands not produce its own. And if you look at this, you'll see where man has consumed slaughterhouse meat for quite some time. And like I said, if you've ever been to a slaughterhouse, it's not good. It's disturbing to the psychic. You can feel the epinephrine. It's revolting, and it's just disgusting. But I grew up with slaughterhouses because of farming, and then I years ago I worked at the telephone company and had to deal with phones in slaughterhouses, and so I got to see, and then I knew about raw, and I was not a meat eater, and that was disturbing to me. But when I was young growing up, you don't know. But even when I was young growing up, it was nasty to go to a slaughterhouse. It was just disturbing to my whole psychic always. So, but we have ingested so much of this epinephrine that we don't produce our own adequately. So you are going to have a lull. Anything you can hit with the adrenals, you do it, including the dandelions, greens, and flowers. The roots are for the hepatic, liver, and pancreatic. So you're going to have a little low in there. And some people lose their appetites because the body wants to fast. So do your best. Your fruits and your berries and your melons have the most magnetic energy of all foods. So those are the ones you want to ingest. You know, you have to consider this idea of nutrition. You have to consider the 3 phases of nutrition: digestion, absorption, and utilization. And utilization of nutrition requires mostly adrenal steroids. How interesting. Calcium, of course, is a parathyroid. So you can't just say that I'm going to take nutrition, because you have to make sure your pancreas is breaking down your carbohydrates, your liver, your fats. You don't get to stay away from protein, so you don't care about hydrochloric acid so much. And then you want to make sure you have absorption, where there's interstitial lymphatic constipation like never before out there. I rarely see an eye that doesn't have some degree of malabsorption. So cleaning up that gut and the lymph system is prime before you're going to absorb the bulk of what you're eating and breaking down. And then there's that little utilization factor. So most naturopaths are lost in deficiencies, forgetting utilization factors. You got to correct those before you can holler deficiency. And then if you're eating a well-rounded diet of fruits, berries, and melons, and most of them organic, if you want to supplement like a superfood blend, okay, that's adequate nutrition. Nutrition doesn't always yield you energy, let me tell you. Look at vegetables. A big salad is full of nutrition, but if I eat a big salad, sometimes I just want to sit back here and take a little snooze because it's complicated to digest, and I like high energy. And if you're used to high energy, those foods that take a while and take it out of you, you're very aware of that. Some of those that are used to no energy, a salad gives them energy. But at another level, salad takes it away from you. This is all about levels and where you're at energetically and how you're channeling and dealing with the current. And so you'll see that. But I see here, the berries, goji berries, okay. The cocoa, that's okay. Seaweed's okay. But at the same time, when you're wanting to detoxify spirulina, again, I'm not into single-celled organisms. It's up to you. I don't care. But again, when you're detoxifying, stay away from the proteins, the single-celled animals, or the multiple-celled animals. Don't have to eat animals, even if it's a form of palm scum or algae. People are into algae, and I have to laugh because it's simple palm scum. Just go to a stagnant palm and clean off the top of it and put it in a drink and have fun. Ugh. Our sauna. So here's some questions. What should I do about my appetite? Stay with the fruits, berries, and melons, and don't worry about it. Are saunas bad for me at this stage? No, but make sure you have adequate energy because heat pulls energy out of you. You'll see this in MS cases, neurological cases, quads and paraplegics. Whenever you're a neurological case, acids are debilitating even more because you're highly acidic. And that's the proof of that. When you're a neurological case, you're extreme acidosis issue here. And so when you introduce heat, which is acidic, you start to really lose nerve energy. When I turn down the air conditioner, you're feeling a lot better. That's alkaline. Cold is alkaline. So you can see how that fits. So if you're real fatigued, I would stay away from the saunas. And the same thing with cold sheet treatments. Be careful with cold sheet treatments, because they're good, but you need to have some energy before that. If you're too fatigued and your blood pressure is real low, and you do a cold sheet treatment or a hot sauna, you could pass out doing that. Not really in the scheme of things. Really, just build yourself up there. Rest, relax. Sip your fruit juices or something. You can do that as well. Definitely keep yourself hydrated if you don't have an appetite. Keep down the fruit juices minimally, and just to keep yourself hydrated. Keep the kidneys filtering, or attempting to filter. Work on the herbs. Get your adrenals up. And that's a case where you can do herbs with some fruit juices and go quite a way. Because remember, all the herbs are full of nutrition. They're just full of nutrition. We don't cook anything here. Before you said my adrenals are probably not metabolizing the sugars, therefore wouldn't it be better to stop the fruit until they can handle the sugar? What would you replace it then? If you're not metabolizing, and this is where the problem comes, if you're not metabolizing sugars, what would you replace? See, because fruits and vegetables are your sugars. Those are your carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are carbon-based constituents, which are your sugars. That's fruits and vegetables. Starch is complex sugars, which is going to be your grains. So when you're looking at this and you say stop fruit and stop sugar, you'd be at Atkins. That would mean you would have to consume high proteins, and then your health would go right down into the dumpers even more. No. You don't stop sugars at all, ever. You have to understand this is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. This energy is mandatory or your cells will go goodbye. And you don't want your cells. Your nervous system's just weak. You don't want your cells to go goodbye, then it's a lot different story. That's not in the plan to kill cells. It's in the plan to make cells healthy. So you need sugar, and fruit sugar is the easiest, most efficient sugar, simple sugar nature makes. Babies love it, frugivores, primates, even a herbivore will take an apple over a piece of grass. My horse would love an apple or a carrot or a little sugar cube. Not that we would ever give sugar cubes to our horses or nothing. Before you said my probably weak, therefore wouldn't it be better? No. Otherwise it is causing my skin to break out and possibly a fungal infection in my body. Sweetheart, you got to get rid of that kind of thinking. That's inappropriate thinking. That's what's out there, that sugar feeds candida and all that crap. Candida is a fungal family. These are microbes involved in fermentation. They're there because you're not metabolizing sugars, and they're helping you. They're the ones that are actually helping you, but can be problematic like any overgrowth of a microbe. They all can be problematic not in their focus and their job, in their numbers. And the problem is with you and your adrenal glands not metabolizing the sugars. That's what you got to fix, the causative factor. Not try to avoid sugar, because that would mean vegetables too. They're sugar too. Even though you don't feel sweet when you eat a salad, that's all glucose. An inferior simple sugar because it needs insulin as a hormone carrier. Fructose doesn't require that. I don't care what the theory is out there. You see it all the time in diabetes type 1, all the time, where insulin is a factor. Now, type 2 and hypo is not insulin problems. It is sugar metabolism problems. So you got to lose that idea about your skin. That's your lymph system. You break out on the skin, that has nothing to do with sugar. That's your lymph system. You're just seeing a reaction to that. Remember, fruits are the most aggressive lymphatic herbs or fruits or foods, I'll get it out, on the planet. Now, my B12 went low when I started going wrong over a year ago. This is when I started getting the foggy head, also depressed moods. That's because you ducked the neurotransmitters. That's because you stopped neurotransmitter consumption, and therefore you saw the downing of the adrenal glands. The adrenals just crashed on you, and therefore you saw the B12s, you saw the fog, all this stuff. It isn't B12 supports all that. It's just that you dumped your adrenals, which is common. When you come off of meat, your adrenals are going to dump because you're not taking epinephrine anymore. So you're going to dump, and you're going to feel fatigued. I have people coming in here all the time saying, I got to have meat. I haven't any energy. I have to have meat for energy. Well, you must understand that the body does not use protein for energy. And if it did, you're in trouble. That's like being up in Alaska in the winter. You have a snowstorm coming that left 70 feet of snow. You're in a little cabin. It's surrounded your cabin. You can't get out. You have no power, and it's below zero. So you burn the furniture in the fireplace, you start burning the curtains on the wall, and you burned everything in the house, and there's nothing left but the structure of the house. And so you start tearing down the walls on the inside to burn for energy. That's what burning protein is. You are now burning your own structure. You don't burn protein for energy. That's a sugar or a fat broken down into a sugar syndrome. So you got to understand that sort of thing that's going on there. I'm not into the B12s. You do what you want. Lastly, I read a book on urine therapy, and it said it works like telling our bodies what is out of balance and giving it make nutrients, as the fluid is nearly water with 2% mineral hormones and 2% urea. This is countless people who cured cancer and other ailments. Bull crap. Bull crap. Sorry. Bull crap. Not drinking urine did they cure cancer and all this. Bull crap. Nope. And these are people where their urine wasn't filtering the acids out. You don't want to drink your excrements. You don't want to eat your sewage. This is stupid. These are people around the world that can't heal nothing. And I've heard the urine therapy filters around our society about every 6 months. And when your kidneys are filtering and full of sediment, go ahead and drink it if you want. That's your acid waste that you work so hard to get out of. You can put them back in you if you want. I mean, this is all stupid stuff. Drop the urine therapy. That's ridiculous. You want, of course, I agree, most people aren't filtering through their urine, so they're not getting the acid. So, yeah, you could probably eat a lot of raw foods, and most of your electrolytes are going to be in your urine, so you could drink it. Jeez, I find man to stoop pretty low. I do. I'm sorry. As a spiritual person, drinking your urine is just not in the scheme of things.